Hey everyone, I'm TAUREN Langley from Emporia State University. Today I'm going to be presenting exam distractions or no distractions in college students' anxiety levels. Hey everyone, I'm TAUREN Langley from Emporia State University. Distractions versus no distractions. Exposing subjects to noise, a manipulation which often produces physiological signs of stress, negative mood changes, and impairments of sustained attention could affect a subject's performance and anxiety or stress levels, according to Smith. Test anxiety, defined by Damer, is perceived arousal, reported worry, self-denigrating thoughts, tension, and reports of somatic symptoms during exam situations. Activation of physiological stressors increases anxiety and stress levels, leading to decreased performance, according to Staples. My prediction. If a group of participants becomes distracted while reading an article before and during an exam, then their anxiety levels and test scores will be lower than a group that was not distracted. All right, participants. I had 34 college students, all which came from the undergraduate psychology courses during the fall of 2020 at Emporia State University. For materials, first off, I had participants read an article on how to make beer. Following that, they took an exam over that article, which consisted of 11 multiple choice items. One group had distractions, the other group did not. After that, the participants took the STAI test, which was measuring anxiety. Following that, they took a Likert scale survey to see additional anxiety levels, which consisted of 3 demographic items and 11 questions, such as I have a history of anxiety, 1 being strongly disagree and 7 being strongly agree. All right, design. I did a 2-group independent quasi-experimental design. The independent variable was distractions, one group being the noise group and the other group being the non-noise group. And my dependent variable was exam scores overall. Okay, for procedure, I used Qualtrics online. Participants were given an informed consent form prior to being able to participate. They were then distributed into randomized groups where one group heard noise distractions while reading an article for an exam, and the other group did not. All right, results. Noise versus no noise. The descriptive statistics are below for the non-distractor group, which had a mean of 8.78, and a distractor group, which had a mean of 7.88. For the t-test, there was no significant difference between groups, as p is 0.17. For the figure below, it shows the mean anxiety scores for participants who either had distractions or did not have distractions present prior to completing the STAI. Error bars show standard deviations. Higher scores indicate greater anxiety levels. All right, results for test scores and STAI scores correlation. Descriptive statistics show that STAI scores had a mean of 42.91. Test scores had a mean of 8.35. And Pearson-Orr correlation coefficient shows that higher test scores were positively correlated with higher STAI scores. Okay, for the figure below, it shows that each participant's test score is a function of their STAI scores. results of no longer anxious or stressed and STAI scores correlation. The descriptive statistics show that STAI anxiety scores had a mean of 42.91 and no longer had a mean of 4.15. Pearson-R correlation coefficient shows that no longer being anxious or stressed was positively correlated with higher STAI scores. For figure 3, the survey question, once I have completed an exam, I am no longer anxious or stressed, is positively correlated with higher participants' STAI scores. Results for history of anxiety and individual stress levels correlation are as follows. The descriptive statistics show that for history of anxiety, the mean is 5.2. The stress levels have a mean of 5.85. Pearson-R correlation coefficient shows that history of anxiety was positively correlated with stress levels. This P was 0.01. For figure 4, the survey question, anxiety causes my stress levels to increase, is positively correlated to the question, I have a history of anxiety, which suggests the higher participant stress levels, the more likelihood of having a history of anxiety. Okay, results for exams anxious and no longer. The descriptive statistics show that for exam anxious, the mean is 5.18. No longer had a mean of 4.15. The Pearson-R correlation coefficient shows that exams anxious was negatively correlated with no longer. Okay, so for figure 5, the question, the thought of exams make me anxious, was negatively correlated with the question, once I have completed an exam, I am no longer anxious or stressed, which suggests that the thought of exams makes participants anxious even upon completion of the exam. Conclusion. Test scores were not different because of noise. However, as test scores increase, so did participants' anxiety scores. Stress and anxiety are natural and can have positive and negative effects. Noise increases anxiety in response to initial noise as well as at the end. Smith, 97. An online setting may require different skills or techniques compared to face-to-face settings. Alleyback, 2019. Limitations that I had were that it was an artificial situation and it was an online interaction. For the future, I would conduct an in-person study and have a controlled and more frequent noise. Definitely have a larger sample for more diverse population. Students may believe that stress and anxiety are the causes of decreased performance, but it may really be the surroundings and not their preparedness. Here are my references. I would like to thank the ESU undergraduate psychology participants, the PY 301 undergraduate teaching assistants, and Dr. Grover. This concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at the email listed below. Thank you.